Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rizka Maula Amalia. My student ID number 20101171200015. I'm from class Listening and Speaking for Academic Purposes A1. Today, I will present about students' ability in making sentences of simple past tense at second grade of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin in academic year 2018-2019. Table of content. First, statement of the problem. Second, objective of the study, scope of the study. Fourth, significance of the study. Fifth, review of literature. Six, methodology. Seven, research findings and discussion. The last one is conclusion. The first, I will explain about introduction. English as an international language is very important for Indonesian people. It is the reason why English becomes the first foreign language which is taught as a compulsory subject in both junior and senior high school. However, mastering English as a foreign language is a not easy job. Since English is a new language, students get some difficulties and need much time to learn. The first is statement of the problem. How is the student ability in making sentences of simple past tense at second grade of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin in academic year 2018-2019? The second, objective of the study. The objective of this research is to find out the student's ability in making sentences of simple past tense at second grade of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin in academic year 2018-2019. The third, scope of the study. The scope of this research is limited as follows. This research is focused on how the student's ability in making sentences of simple past tense. And then, the subject of this research is the second grade student of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin in academic year 2018-2019. Fourth, significance of the study. The first is theoretically, it can be used as the reference for the next researcher who are interested in the same field. And then, practically, increase students' achievement significantly in learning English grammar, especially tenses. The fifth is about review of literature. The section will review the theory, issues, and study related to the topic of the study. The first is about grammar. Grammar is one of the important parts of the support the four language skill in English. In curriculum, the four language skills are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The second one is the understanding of tenses. Many learners have considerable difficulty with English tense system. As with other areas of grammar, difficulties may arise from the nature of the system itself or from difference between English and the learner's mother tongue. The sixth material is about methodology. This section describes the procedures of the study to find out the answer to the questions. This section covers approach and type of research, subject of the research, including population and sample, instrument of the research, technique of the data collection, and the data analysis. The first, approach and type of research. Research design used in this research is qualitative approach and the descriptive method. This research tries to describe the student ability in making sentences of simple past tense by the second grade student of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin without giving any treatments to the students. And then the second is subject of the research. The population of this research is the second grade student of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin. There are 7 classes which consist of 30 to 35 students per class. So, the total number of population is 217 students. The sample Subject as representative of population is chosen if the population is too big. The population of this research is student at the second grade or A classes of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin in academic year 2018-2019. The researchers took 4 classes from 210 students. Because the number of population is more than 100 students, the researcher used the purposive sampling technique to get the research data by taking about 4 classes. And then, instrument of the research. The instrument of this research is written test. The kind of test the researcher use written test. For more specific is making sentences of simple past tense. Researcher will give some words, so the student should making the sentence of simple past tense based on the words researcher given before. The first test is make sentence consists of 25 items. The second test is also make sentence consists of 25 items word for making the sentence of simple past tense. It is used to know the student's ability in making sentences of simple past tense. The place ability in making sentences of simple past tense in classroom. The time allocated for answering the test is 30 minutes. The data are obtained from all the sample students at the 8th grade of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin. And then validity and reliability. Validity. The test design should be dealing with students' learning material. In this research, the test is designed based on syllabus and textbook, which is used by the second grade student of SMP and 19 Banjarmasin. From the syllabus and textbook, it can be seen that then the students have learned about simple past tense. Researcher established test teknik at SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin to get a group of subjects to take the same test twice to measure the reliability and compare the two tests. And then, technique of data collections. In this research, the researcher used writing tests in order to know the student ability in simple past tense and the student ability in using regular and irregular verb in past tense. In this research, the technique used to collect data is by giving a written test to students. The data of the research is analyzed with descriptive analysis and quantitative data as the method of collection the data. The data are collected from the test. And then the last one is data analysis, the technique analyzing data of this descriptive research. The technique analyzing data of this descriptive research are scoring the students in making simple past tense in sentences, and then calculating the total correct sentence made by the students of each item, and then the researcher calculation the mean score by using formula. And then the 7th material is about research findings and discussion. This chapter presents the description of the data, the result, and the discussion of the research result. This research is aimed to know the students' ability in making sentences of simple past tense by 8th grade students of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin. The description of the data. In this research, the researcher used writing tests in order to know the student ability and using simple past tense in making sentences. There were 127 or 4 classes students as the sample from 8th grade student of SMPN 19 Banjarmasin. The students were made 25 words of simple past tense by the test into different times in order to get the reliable data in the making simple past tense words. The first written test was given on Wednesday, May 9th, 2018, with the 25 words was given by the researcher. The second test was given on Tuesday, May 15, 2018, with the same test with first test, based on the data which has been collected by first test and second test. The researcher found any mistake by the students in making simple past tense sentences. And then the result of validity and reliable. From the table, after the researcher and English teacher discuss, it can be seen that the material of the test was appropriate with the English syllabus. For the 8th grade, based on the result above, it can be concluded the instrument already fulfill the criteria of curriculum and material of learning and teaching process, since the instrument was made based on syllabus and the test was appropriate with student mastery level. And then reliability. The test was conducted on the 8th May 2018. It was making sentences of simple past tense and was given to the student for 30 minutes. Reliability of this instrument was calculated the scores. Simple past were obtained by calculating their total correct sentences of all item and test, first and second. Next, the researcher calculated the main score. Based on the calculation, it was found that the lowest score of ability in using simple past and present perfect tense is 12. It is classified as very poor criteria, while the highest score of ability in making sentences of simple past tense is 98.5. It is categorized as very good criteria. The finding of the research result. Based on the table, it can be seen that there was 5 students, 3.9%, who got very good category in making sentences of simple past tense. There were 17 students, 13.3%, who achieved good category. 34 students, or 26.7%, who got fair category. 19 students, 14.9%, who achieved poor category. And there are 52 students, or 40.9%, in very poor category. From the table, it can be concluded that many students who had problem in making sentences of simple past tense. It shows from many students who achieve very poor category making sentences of simple past tense. The researcher concluded the 8 student ability in making sentences of simple past tense at SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin academic year 2018-2019 is poor category. It can be seen from mean score of students that is 54.38%. Discussion of the research result. From the research result, who can see that there are some problems faced by the 8th grade student of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin in making a good sentences, especially making simple past tense sentences. In general, the students were facing difficulties in grammatical aspect. Most of them have problems in their attempts to making sentences in the second or foreign language. The researcher found one of aspect belongs in good category, which is suitability between title and content. It means many students of grade 8 in SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin was not accomplished how to make sentences based on the word and making sentences of simple past tense. The test was held twice for each class. As the result, the researchers are classified the student ability in the first test and the second test. Calculated the study is to find out the student ability in making sentences of simple past tense at second grade of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin. The researcher used purposive sampling technique. There were 4 classes. The student ability in making sentences of simple past tense is in poor category with 54.38 score, based on the score from Suharsimi Arikanto. The result of the test above show a poor score. Most of students had problems in use time and verb to in making sentences of simple past tense with different frequency of the students. All right. The conclusions. Based on the finding data and the discussion in chapter 4, it can state conclusion as follows. The student's ability in making sentences of simple past tense at second grade of SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin, academic year 2018-2019 is in poor category. There were 5 students, 3.9%, who got very good category in making sentences of simple past tense. There were 17 students, 13.3%, who achieved good category. 34 students, 26.7%, who got fair category. 19 students, 14.9%, who achieved poor category. And there are 52 students, 40.9% in very poor category, because the KKM passing grade for English and SMP Negeri 19 Banjarmasin is 70, means that the category is still low because the result of the test is 54.38 score. It means many students are still confused in making sentences of the simple past tense. Alright, the last one is suggestion. Based on the conclusion above, it is suggested that for the teacher, although the result is in poor category, it is still suggested to the students to improve their skill in making sentences, especially in making simple past tense, like as practice in how to good in making sentences, and also give to more learning about verb 3 with method memorized from verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. Because with this method, it can be more funny and easy for students to memorize. The teacher can use any media that support the teaching learning process in order to make it more interesting and effective. The teacher should be able to create a good atmosphere or situation and motivation during teaching process in the classroom in order to get student attentions, and should give more exercises and attention to the materials that the student feel difficult. And then for the students, should pay attention to the teacher in teaching and learning process. They should improve their knowledge about tenses, especially in simple past tense, by study hard, and they need to be more practice with those tenses. In using time allocated and verb 3 because they are show that is a simple past tense. And then the last one is for the next researcher. If you're interested in the same field, need to prepare the instrument and the subject well before you're doing the research. Collected more information from the previous studies and the related book for the references. Right? I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attentions and thanks for patience. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.